All right. Welcome into the half. My name is Aaron Montgomery. This is Erich Campbell. Erich, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. We managed to get back in here on time today, which was a a feat to say the least.
Yes.
Because we've been having these really good Two Regular Guys shows, so we're like right barely on it lately. That's right on it.
Yeah, we pushed it, and I'd had this was about my third, and I'm drinking tea these days, so this is my
Yeah.
third large size tea. So had to run upstairs real quick, but we're here, we're ready. Jeff says the final countdown.
Oh man, now you got that song stuck in everybody's head who's old, and that is not fair, Jeff.
Yeah. You want me to start singing? No, nobody wants that.
No,
Okay.
nobody wants that.
Kathleen, laughing, good time. Christine, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Christine. Happy to have you here.
Gentlemen loosely, my guess is it's a loose term there.
Try.
You do a very good job. So, Ramona made it. Good morning.
Ramona in.
Mike, good morning.
Awesome, Mike.
Yep. Brian here for the halftime show.
Oh man, we are in the presence of genius, folks.
Yeah.
Up your game. We won't.
Hello, Lori, and Chuck. Good morning, General Men.
Okay, that is better than gentlemen. And even if that was mistyped, I love that. No, we are general men. We are just generally here. And
Jeff says yes, sing. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
No, so, I can mute the buttons too. I still have control. I can mute his side if I need to.
So it's good point on that. So Todd says Timmy sounds like he's in a well. So I don't know if I actually do still sound like I'm in a well or not. But
you're a little hollow today, and I thought maybe it was the wrong mic, but I can't tell. So I interrupted the show by I should have said anything because you and I are both bad about this. Where we're like, okay, I got to fix this problem immediately.
Yeah.
And so we both look for this stuff. I don't know. Yeah, there's a little bit of hollowness today. I don't know what's going on. But I will say StreamYard has not been performing for me the way I like today. I had some weird delays on the show, so it's like I'm clicking the video buttons and things are waiting to play, and everyone is sitting there waiting for things to happen.
All right. So, Bill, hello.
Hi, Bill. I see you here.
Yep, good to see you here for sure. Good morning, Sheila.
Good morning.
And Dean, welcome in for the first time on the half.
Thank you.
This is like our third show or something like that.
I believe it is 3 or 4 shows now. And once again, we still have no topic. So if you guys want to talk about anything, please get in and talk, because otherwise we'll just jaw for the next half hour.
Yeah,
not that we're not happy to do that.
Yeah, we're happy to talk about whatever.
This is true.
And we will talk about whatever, and we'll just interact with you guys. We love doing that too. But if you guys have some questions,
please.
Please keep us on track. That's your guys' responsibility.
We promised to be here. That is all we promised.
Yeah. So Jeff said, I noticed that yesterday. Seems like StreamYard needs some maintenance. So my guess is, Erich, from my, because I've been with StreamYard since really early on. I feel like I'm the StreamYard guy that carries around their flag for them a lot.
Yes, this is true.
Is to they've recently been bought, so I know that they're going through some changes there. Now, the owners, the original owners, are committed to staying on board, keeping it all going. But as with anything, once you get bought out, there are changes, and so I'm sure there's some. I'll go check out what's going on over in the StreamYard community. I think you're in there too, Erich, and see if anybody else is commenting about that.
I am, for sure. And I think that's something to look at. I will also admit that I was doing some maintenance because I don't know about anybody else. And I think it might just be the extreme load we're all under from doing all this streaming and working remotely and stuff. I have been having more connection issues than ever in the last couple of weeks. So I know personally I was checking stuff out this morning to see what's going on, but we'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, that's good. In fact, Christine says,
good deal.
You sent out a message. I didn't get that one either. Maybe I'm not as cool as I think.
All right. Well, there's something there.
Yeah, they definitely could. So I'm sure people will be posting about it in their community too. So Jeff said, I didn't see that message. Good to know. All right. We've got our first official question of the day, Erich.
Official. Okay. Official.
We call it official. Best snack to enjoy throughout the workday. I'm a sucker for beef sticks and cheese.
I have to lay off the snacks. COVID has not been kind to my health here. I'm staying in the house all the time and not going out. I have gained a bunch of my lost weight back. So I'm trying to stay entirely away from the snacks. For me, coffee. That is my thing. I'm drinking black coffee. Yeah. That is all I'm having for snacks right now. Otherwise, what I would say is just something that keeps you full and has some protein in it. But that's just me. I'm like, Go for satiety, protein, and
Protein
calcium.
shake right here is what I've been kind
Yeah,
of
that's what
sipping
I'm.
on.
I'm going to be back on. Did go, however, get some weights, and that's something I'm doing again now.
There you
So
go. Good for
I
you.
feel like back in high school, and I'm putting up
Yeah.
weights. So why not?
So I saw this show. I saw this show called The Field House, I think it was, on the Magnolia Network on Discovery Plus, right? So going deep here.
There we go.
But it was interesting because they were talking about how they, it's one of those feel good Magnolia, the Chip and Joanne Gaines feel good kind of story thing.
Sure.
But this particular gym in Abilene, Texas, they have this holistic approach to training and helping their clients. And one of the things they talked about was kind of getting a body profile. And their doctor nutritionist lady was talking about the fact that actually sometimes people can actually undereat and gain weight because
that's weird.
body's metabolism.
It all seems like, and people don't know, my wife's kind of in medicine, and in that there's a lot going on to try and unwrap all that. So I never know what to do. I'll be honest and say I've lost mass amounts of weight several times and gained it back. I struggle with it, certainly. So it's something like, I will say certainly it's difficult, and I will never prescribe to anybody one way to handle it. Extreme restriction will help you. You will eventually lose weight, but let me tell you, the bounce back's not fun. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
it is all interesting to just think about because I go from like, okay, let's do keto and do the.
I've done the same thing.
And like you said, I myself have managed a new high score on my scale. So not exactly the high score I was going for, but hey, it's a score nonetheless. And
I by the way, for all people who think, what does this have to do with decoration and business? I'm going to say taking care of yourself has to do with it, because I think I am hearing more and more people who are suffering from different kinds of burnout and issues because we're in such a weird way of operating right now. So taking a minute to deal with that, which I have not done myself. Do as I say, not as I do, is worthwhile. I'm just going to say that's true, though. I love Jeff's comment here. I'm sorry, I got to bring this up.
That's fine.
Leveled up. Yeah, I leveled up in age and weight this last month, so it's great. I'm hitting above my usual class, believe me.
Good job.
Armor class is high right now.
I like it. Level it up.
Level up.
Well, and I like that you say that about the fact that, what does this have to do with business and stuff like that? I think it all has to do with business, right? We have the energy that we need to do the tasks that we need to feel better about ourselves, all this other stuff. So it's definitely a challenge. Christine says weight loss is hard to figure out.
I'm pushing
buttons.
You're not allowed
to touch the buttons today.
My fault. I'm pushing buttons.
Okay. Or not now, right?
All right.
So basically, I think the best idea is to try to get adequate exercise and eat sensibly the majority of the time, and let the rest of it be what it is. I think that's probably the best prescription there, Christine, is that, right? To get some exercise, eat sensibly. For my family and I, we're going to try to bring down the portion sizes and go to 5 meals a day and kind of 3 hours apart, but keeping it in a much smaller portion size and see how that goes. So anyhow.
That's like I said, my big losses were from massive restriction, but I think that now that I've yet again, I have some recidivism rate. Now that I'm doing poorly again, I think that probably wasn't the way to rock that. So I think personally, eating sensibly and trying to have a way of living, and that's for everything. That's for scheduling, and hey, for your business too. I see people who go on these crazy changes without thinking about how sustainable it is. And sometimes, yes, there are pushes to be done. Yes, there are crunches. Everybody knows, especially like if you're in programming or anything like that, there are big crunches to be done. But, sustainable pace throughout instead of burning right out is probably better.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or at least should be part of your calculus.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun part about doing this too, Eric, is that we get to talk about these things. And then a lot of times maybe we're talking to ourselves, right? I know you're talking to me. It's okay.
No, believe me, most of the time, like my articles, a lot of my stuff is prescriptive, going, hey, Eric, if you'd like to listen to the stuff that you actually know, here's you writing about that.
Here's how you can do that.
Which, by the way, there's nothing more embarrassing, which I've done this many times. I see a headline from an article, especially when I was really in decorating every day, but I was still writing about decorating. I would see an article about something embroidery, something about digitizing, and go, oh, that sounds awesome. And I'd click the link for the article and I wrote it. And I'm like, oh,
That happens. Okay. All right.
I
So
really wanted some other, I want some other action there, guys. All right.
one of the things we always wanted to try to do is make sure that we're fully interacting with
Yes.
everybody as much as we can here, and try to get to every comment. So let's keep moving. Jeff says, when Windows says I need an update, I cringe. What's it going to break that time? Yes, I hear that.
Be happy your primary Windows. And I'll just say that from a software standpoint, you guys know I'm in brilliance. From a software standpoint, I have very little love right now for Mac in general. Apple gets me very angry. They like to just wholesale break things and take over file formats and stuff. Yeah, updates are not fun.
All right. So tell us how you really feel there, Eric.
Apple guys, I'm sorry. We have a problem. We have beef right now. we have beef right now.
There you go. All right. So Dean says, Aaron, I'd like to hear about your business group. Yeah, happy to answer any questions that you have about that, Dean, at any time. But I'll just give you the kind of quick, brief overview of it, and then you guys feel free to ask me questions or reach out to me directly, whatever is easiest for you. So it's called Our Success Group, and our mission is to provide resources that empower business owners to achieve their idea of success. That's our whole mission. It's how we make all of our decisions. But to kind of break those things down a little bit, the resources we provide, we have training that we do at least every other week. Sometimes we get into what we call our 5 key series, which are real foundational pieces. And within those 5 key series, we do those every week. So we help people with, trying to understand what your cost is just to be in business every day. We help people figure out how to pay yourself. We work with a lot of startups, and the comment is, oh well, I just can't afford to pay myself yet. Well, if you don't plan for that now, even if you aren't paying yourself now, if you don't plan for it now, you'll never be able to pay yourself. So we help them rechange their thinking. So we get into that. We help them with pricing strategy, this whole 2x your cost thing. I just cringe every time I see that on Facebook, and it's rampant. It's constant.
It's like me with embroidery pricing. If I hear 99 cents a thousand again, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, sure, it could work out to be that, but that shouldn't be your strategy.
It's certainly not a business plan.
Yeah, exactly. So
certainly not a plan.
And then Eric mentioned business planning. We do a lot of that. And then we also, for the people that really want to accelerate their businesses, we have mastermind programs. Mm-hmm. So where not only do we get to help them with the training and stuff like that, so you can add on a mastermind program to where we're getting in there. You've got a group of partners basically, and we've seen some tremendous success from those mastermind programs where people have just really accelerated their business from either a startup phase or just, I've been kind of plugging along and I'm ready to actually take my business seriously phase. So that's our success group as a whole. I'm a certified Canfield Success Principles trainer. So what that means is there's a book by Jack Canfield called The Success Principles, and I've taken the courses and material to be able to legally say that I can teach that material. And so we actually implement a lot of those principles into the things that we teach. So it's kind of mindset, kind of business, kind of experience, helping, and whatever other resources our members ask of us is kind of the way we go with it. So
you did some really incredible series on your Saturday podcast. So yeah, really good stuff. So yeah, check it out, guys. I mean, well, and honestly, what I'll say is this: everyone says like, oh, okay, this stuff is touchy feely. It's too okay. I'm just going to say this. You can say that you're not touchy-feely, you're all logic-based in your thinking. I'm just going to say chances are, if you stop and really think about it, there's a lot of what we consider touchy-feely stuff that goes into how you make decisions, how people around you make decisions, and definitely how your customers make decisions, and understanding some of that stuff as well, and understanding motivations, and not only your motivations, but everything else. That's all useful stuff. Trust me.
Well, Eric, to play off that real quick, I mean, I was in that boat. I had those same thoughts, those same feelings. This all kind of happened for me. I didn't plan to become a Success Principles trainer. That was never in the plans. But as I started looking at this stuff, the logic of me actually took over and going, wait a second, I'm looking at these people, I'm seeing what they're doing. You start breaking it down and going, okay, set clear goals, have a good attitude. All of these things kind of come together, and you go, okay, well, it seems touchy-feely, but at the end of the day, it's actually logical. It makes sense, right? It's the rest of the world kind of keeping you down that happens. So anyhow.
Well, yeah, I mean, then honestly, some of the base tenets that end up in this, especially when we're talking about like mastermind groups, stuff like that, accountability, these are things that business people know. The people who are around you making up kind of the echo chamber, so you have to think about who those people are and how you're interacting with them, and that influencing how you do things. Absolutely works that way. I do have something that's a technical question, because I see this coming through and we're discussing it briefly, because I see it coming up over and over. We are talking about Stitch Artist, which, by the way, in Brilliant Stitch Artist, that's the digitizing half of Stitch Artist. Is there a nudge setting? Setting no, but nudging yes. And I want to bring up, thank you, Marta Caffrey. Nudge being small movements. This is absolutely true. Control and using arrow keys does small movements. Absolutely. You can select things and use the arrow keys to move them around. Larger movements, and then you hold down Control, you get smaller movements. So yes, there is nudge in Stitch Artist. I am a big proponent of nudging. I do a lot of keyboard work. I know tons of my digitizing friends are drawing tablet folks. I'm a mouse and keyboard guy, probably because of the old school stuff I came up on, certainly. But nudging is a big deal, especially when you're doing geometric work. The other thing in Stitch Artist, when you're dealing with straight lines, hold down the Alt key and it snaps to 15-degree increments. Yes, I know, super technical, and super Stitch Artist specific, but yeah, other software also has this stuff, because I mean, Stitch Artist is based on a very the metaphor that Brian started out with is very much a design metaphor. It is something that's more common to vector art and design. A lot of embroidery software, including like Wacom that I came up on, everything's all spline based. So you draw some curves and it makes like a wire that's under tension, and it just kind of makes a curve by more points you put in. Whereas a lot of us come through, say, CorelDRAW or Illustrator, and you draw with Bezier curves. Wacom doesn't draw in Bezier curves, it only lets you edit in them. Stitch Artist lets you draw in Bezier curves. So that's why a lot of graphic artists come in, and nudge is part of that kind of graphic artist metaphor. Nice. So yeah, technical stuff. I know we jumped.
That's great.
That was a hard cut from like
no, that's good, because
handling yourself and emotional stuff straight
honestly,
to technical stuff.
Yeah, as you were saying that, you actually saved me, because I missed Lori's comment. And I think that was probably Marta helping answer that. Is there a nudge setting in Stitch Artist? So,
yeah, totally.
Sorry we missed that, Lori. Wow.
Oh no, and there's so many people who are having all these great comments. It's like I don't want to jump on too much. I will say this:
we're gonna get to them all. We got time.
We got time. Sure, we got plenty of time.
Made it time. Made it time.
From Dean though, I gained. Dean says I gained.
You're not allowed to touch the buttons. I thought we talked about.
I'm doing it anyway. We're fighting, man. It's button time. All right. I gained about 30 pounds sitting here watching live too much. The only reason I put this up is because I'm going to say this. I'm going to challenge you when you're doing lives like this to do some exercise during the live. Nobody's watching you on camera. There's no point. You don't have to be sitting there. I know, because I did the same thing when I was taking in some webinar recently. I was just like, even in my chair, because my knee has been messed up, grabbed my weights. My weight's not sitting here right next to me, and started putting up like kettlebells, man. I was just doing, and honestly, for me, I'm going to admit it. I don't like doing grindy exercise. I'd rather dig a ditch so that there was a ditch when I was done than sit and grind on the nothing machine. Yeah. So I doing something while listening. The only reason I lost my first bout of weight and why I even kept, any sort of cardiac health is because when I exercise, I tend to listen to something I wouldn't let myself, or I tend to do it some other, enriching mental stuff that gets me out of exercising, because I don't really want to be there. So,
yeah, I'm right there with you. When we stopped playing volleyball, I pretty much lost my exercise opportunities, but there's plenty of other things to do. So, and Dean, to that point, I put on the 30 pounds sitting here doing live. So there's both sides.
We're on camera.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could try to exercise while we did it. Early on in the pandemic, I did this like OSG challenge thing where we did exercises, but that was short-lived. So.
I can barely put myself in front of the camera without getting upset at what I look like. I'm not going to move around in front of it, folks.
Do it anyways. Feel the fear and do it anyways, Eric.
Oh my God.
That's one of the principles.
Do I have to do a TikTok dance challenge? That's what everybody keeps telling me in my show. Everyone just keeps saying, we want TikTok dances. And I'm like, this is not happening, guys. It's not happening. Dances.
You can just do it on Facebook. It's fine. All right. Christine says no snacks for me, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's it.
Yeah, sure.
Ramona says it's all about the carbs. I shouldn't, but I do. Hang the head
Same here.
Hey, it's no reason to hang the head in shame. You're welcome to the rest of the world, right? We already covered on that one.
Yes.
Christine says, I've done that so often with articles. I'll see something that I think sounds so interesting, and then it's my article, both fun and a bit embarrassing. Hey, it's
Yeah,
fun.
totally, totally. That's happened many times to me. Not as many these days, but yes, for sure.
Yeah. So Jeff said, you said 99 cents. Now I have that song, Thrift Shop, in my head. Yeah. So we've got all sorts of, what was the other one we had at the beginning?
Oh no, that was Final Countdown. Yet nobody. Why do you have to say it again? Now it's back.
The weather here is awesome day, and it's still, and this silly dog has been in and out a dozen times. All she wants to do is sit outside in the sun. I should follow her. Hey,
At least for a little bit.
Wireless, right?
Yeah, take a 15.
Yeah.
Take a 15. Put some headphones in if you want to keep us with you. That's fine by me.
There we go. Todd says accountability is huge. Yeah, that is definitely
massively,
part of
massively.
what we do at our success group. So,
well, and especially now that we're all remote, I'll admit it. It has not been the best for me. I like some things about being remote. I hate some things about being remote.
Yeah.
And I'll say I think that's huge, and it's hard to engender that by yourself.
Sure. But I think with a community and especially
that way.
Mastermind group, we can manufacture that even without being face to face. So it's been really cool to see that
totally
manifest itself. So, all right. So here's a question: if you're left-handed, do you use your left or right hand for the mouse?
That's one of those kind of like.
That's the first question.
I'm super right-handed. I am right-handed to a fault. In point of fact, when I got the weights, the joke was my wife was like, "Hey, why don't you put up an extra set of reps on that left arm?" Because I am so right-handed that you can see the difference between my two arms because I do everything with my freaking right hand. So I can't answer that in that case. I will say my digitizer friends, most of them still mouse with the right hand. How about you, Aaron? You're left-handed,
I am left-handed. And the funny part, you say that you're overly right-handed. Well, typically left-handed people, because, let's be honest, it's a right-handed world. Typically left-handed people are somewhat ambidextrous. And I am actually the opposite of that. I am overly left-handed. Like I could just chop my right arm off and be like, really? I didn't even notice that I didn't have a right arm. That's odd. So, but the funny part is here, this is my right hand. This is my mouse hand. Yeah. So it's just, there are a few things that it's like, okay, the right hand is there. So, but see, Todd is left-handed and he actually uses the mouse on the left side.
So he's got the switch. All right.
Yeah. And you don't see that a lot. So
what I will say though, as somebody who's super right-handed in most things, I am a big keyboard chording user, and also, I play instruments. I don't play nearly as much as I used to. So I absolutely do like the keyboard. My hand is totally set for muscle memory on keyboard commands. And anybody who's drawing, digitizing anything, I'm going to entreaty you. Go look up all the keyboard commands and learn them. You will become faster and better at everything you do.
Nice.
Any sort of design work, learn all the keyboard commands. Don't run back and forth from your art to icons any more than you have to. It just makes you slower and makes you less accurate.
Yeah. I keep my left hand, I'm not doing a bunch of art and stuff like that, but like just in general on a computer, I keep my left hand, my pinky basically locked on the control key, control C, control V, control shift V.
Yes.
I'm copying and pasting like crazy all day.
Always. Yeah, no. Copying, pasting, saving, undoing, redoing.
I've got a tip about copying and pasting, Eric. I thought this was the most amazing thing ever. So we'll see if I was just way lost in the dark. If you are a Windows user, if you will hit the Windows Option key and V, that will actually give you your copy and paste history. Because I would copy something and then I'd forget to paste it, and then I'd go back. I'm like, crap, I copied another thing over it. So, but you have to hit the Control V the first time, because then it will start saving it. So now you can go back and like, oh, I copied that like 2 or 3 times ago. And so that was the best thing ever to me.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of those where it's just like, I think it's the most important for me. The thing is screenshots. If you're a Windows user in Windows 10, Windows key Shift S brings up the screen clipper, and you can get screenshots or clip out a piece of something. And people who are doing any sort of content, you're trying to show somebody something, you're trying to give them an example of something and grab that off your screen. It's a lot faster than saving an image out of everything else, especially if you don't need anything more than screen resolution. So Windows key Shift S. That brings up the screen and web clipper. From there, if I believe, and I'm actually going to do this live to see if it's true, I believe that if you take a piece and then immediately paste, I think it's already in the clipboard when you do that once you select an area.
Cool.
But yeah, absolutely. that gives you the screen clipper. You can do areas, you can do windows. There's other stuff you can do with it once you get in there, but it is a really easy way to grab a screen grab, and everybody should know that. Or you're trying to go with support with software. How do I know? If you're trying to get support with your software and show your screen, you don't know any other way. Yes, the print screen key gives you the whole screen. The Windows Shift S lets you select areas and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Lori says, thank you. Appreciate so I think Marta got that question. Curtis, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Let's see here. Ramona, exercise, rocking my office chair. Is that what you mean? Hey,
right now I feel that way.
Though, right? So let's just start there. Start somewhere. Moving is moving.
For sure.
And Jeff says, I lift a weight if my tumbler counts as a weight. Again, to me, moving's moving. And then Carolyn says, pickleball and cycling are my go-to. There you go.
Just go for it. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Bill says, not for this show, but I'd like to learn some techniques to bury jump stitches in a fill. For instance, when doing 50 stars on a flag, so maybe there's something for part of the
super fast version, sub 1 millimeter stitches that go to the grain of the underlying fill at the same angle as the fill. That's the best chance you have for sinking them. So sub millimeter stitch, and drop that at the same angle as the underlying fill, so it has a chance to sink in.
I love it.
That's really that. Honestly, that is the technique. We can talk more, but that's really it. And use manual stitches to do it.
All right. Maybe it's because I'm in my head so much, but I find exercise is a great way to just focus on the movements and the cardio. It's a great way to clear my head and release the stress. I love it.
I have tried that. Boy, I can't get rid of my mind. It doesn't work unless I obliterate it with content.
Yeah. So Dean says could be sitting on one of those balls. That's a great idea.
True. Yoga ball. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, walking
standing desk.
I could do that though. Maybe some live videos from the exercise ball and work on the old core. That's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, work on the core. Bounce in and out of camera.
Let's see here. Lori says, I was wondering if there's a way to set the incremental in nudges like else. Nope. Okay.
No, but the nudges, the control makes it smaller. So there is like micro and macro nudge.
Okay, so control makes it smaller, but no way to like set specific.
Yeah, try your modifiers on stuff. Really, try those modifier keys and check it out. And certainly go to the help.
Control and shift. Yeah. Okay. Becky says I have a goal of walking 10,000 steps a day in March. This weather is making it not easy. Boom. Nice job.
Nice. Go for it.
Good on you,
Becky. Absolutely.
I like it. You know what? Maybe I should step up my game. I've been doing 7,500, but I'm 10,000.
10,000. There you go, man.
Becky, go for it. I'm in. I'm going to try. All right, I'm in. So we'll hold each other accountable. Let's do it. All right. Christine says, I'm with you, Eric, on the appearance thing. Got obsessed when I did my show yesterday on how round my face looked on camera, which annoyed me because it was a great interview, and that's what mattered.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. And honestly, I sometimes struggle with myself getting on camera because I get upset about stuff. I get critical of myself. What I'll say is this, that's not what people are here for. And people are pulling for you. It's hard to remember that for yourself. So it's good that we tell each other this.
Yeah, exactly. And then one more from Christine here, just a question for myself. Why does everyone else write a sentence and I write a paragraph in the comments?
Only you can answer for yourself. I am the same. And everybody tells me, talk too fast, write too much. So don't feel bad.
Todd says it's the left-handed scissors I haven't gotten figured out yet. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. What else we got here?
Well, the steak feels great.
Yeah, we're coming up on it. So
I know I still how about 1,000 chips to face record. Face stuffing record. That might not be the record we're going for, but you know what? I'm not going to criticize. I'm certainly I'm in the running for sure. Jeff has a technical one. How many sub-millimeter stitches can you do in a row without having issues? Well, if you think at the edge of a fill, every time you do a back on the fill, it's going to be probably 0.4 to 0.6 millimeters because we're talking about a 0.2 gap. So the chances are one's not going to be a problem. You can definitely sink one in between. If you're sub a millimeter, 2 or 3 probably aren't a problem. I'm saying usually you can just drop one stitch penetration point in the middle between the 2 runs, and then you don't have any of those kind of problems. So I think that's really how that goes. Sorry, folks.